Okay, people, be honest with me. If you fell down the stairs right now, you think you'd be able to still do your job? But let's sweeten the pot. If you also had damaged your insides due to other activities, you think you'd still be able to handle what you got going on right now on your plate? Because the creator of Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto, he had some tragedies along the way during the production of Naruto that you're not going to be able to... Hold on, I got the joke for you. Believe it! No, seriously, folks, like, it is absolutely insane when I read this. This is an old interview between the creators of Naruto and One Piece, Masashi Kishimoto and Eiichiro Oda. And within it, you're gonna just be mind blown by the insanity of what Masashi Kishimoto went through while he was writing Naruto, and maybe also inspired of, again, no matter how much life knocked you down, no matter how many mistakes you made, no matter how much you feel like you're at your lowest, you can achieve what you're trying to do. Let's talk about it.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay, people, so before we get into it, definitely want to ask you to please subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications. YouTube doesn't like me no more, apparently, and they're not letting me get no more subscribers, so every single subscription really helps immensely, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, quick shout out to Naruto Explained for this interview, my guy. And yes, people, I found this one to be very important and crucial for anybody, not only just if you're writing manga, but if you have a goal or a dream and you're working at it, and some bad stuff may happen to you, because yes, everything ain't gonna be all peaches and cream, you know what I'm saying, and you're gonna be all roses. Sometimes bad stuff is going to happen, and you're probably going to be like, man, should I stop? Should I just give it up? Should I hang it up? Maybe I need to take a break or something like that. Well, Masashi Kishimoto didn't take a break, and dude fell down the stairs and damaged his insides and a whole bunch of other tragedy that's going to leave you like, wow. Let's jump right into it. This was an exclusive Eiichiro Oda and Masashi Kishimoto interview from Naruto's Book of Lightning, and I believe this came out, wow, now 7 years ago. Hey, holy number. Question: are there any manga series that have influenced you? Kishimoto said, I'd have to say that Toriyama Sensei has been a huge influence, of course. Everybody says that. It's always Toriyama, Kira Toriyama, Dragon Ball, and he really loved Dr. Slump as well. Other than that, he was enthralled by Katsuhiro Otomo's Akira, which everybody knows that Masashi Kishimoto was very inspired by Akira. In fact, the whole Naruto, Sasuke, Tetsuo, like, yeah, he got that from Akira, but the influence was really awesome because, I mean, it turned out Naruto. Oda said, the first time I saw your art, I thought it gave off quite a bit of Otomo Sensei's style. Kishimoto said, oh, is that obvious? And there's a panel right here that freaking just looks absolutely sick from Akira. Man, yo, one day I really got to get into the Akira manga. Like, I've actually watched the film 100 billion times. I got it on DVD, special collector's edition, Blu-ray. I think I don't have the 4K yet. I'm gonna get the 4K because why not? It's Akira. Oda said, as a manga artist, you can kind of see which manga artist someone was influenced by looking at the art or story development. That is also true. I mean, for crying out loud, look at Black Clover. A lot of people say early on he was inspired by Naruto, he was inspired by Bleach, Fairy Tail. Like, there was a lot of inspirations in Black Clover, and it's very clear, especially the whole Berserk thing. Very heavily influenced by one of the greatest manga of all time. Black Clover fans, please appreciate the fact that I snuck in a little bit of love for Tabata. I try. Kishimoto said, in my case, I was considerably influenced by Dragon Ball in my story building, I think. For example, the parts that are reminiscent of that shonen magazine style that get you excited while reading, or the part where Goku grows up and becomes a parent. I personally really like that. Also, Toriyama Sensei's balance, that's probably why we got Hokage, Naruto, and, you know, the whole Boruto era as well. Kishimoto was probably like, I kind of like that idea anyway, and they're gonna give me money to do nothing? Go ahead, have a blast. Here, I got my guy Ikamoto, been in here since chapter 7. He'll draw this shit. Also, Toriyama Sensei's balance between black and white color is superb. It makes it easy to look at, and he doesn't even use that much screen tone. I really think that's cool, Oda said, and even looking at Toriyama Sensei's art from back then, it doesn't feel old because his sense of design is great. That's really amazing. And yeah, if you look at old Dragon Ball art, Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff, like, it still stands the test of time. It doesn't feel aged out or anything like that. And I'd argue that a lot of that is attributed to the fact that most shonen were so freaking heavily inspired by Dragon Ball. Every time I talk about an interview from one of these creators, they're like, yeah, we really like that Toriyama dude, that Dragon Ball and Slump stuff. We love it. Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama drew this image of Rock Lee for a Naruto exhibition, or exhibit, and I ain't gonna lie, I love that Rock Lee. That is a really nice little Rock Lee. It's a little bit different, and he looks a little more younger, chibi eyes, but shout outs to Toriyama's Rock Lee. Hey, give us a Rock Lee manga with Toriyama doing the art. I'd be down for it. Question: other than manga artists, is there anyone in particular who has influenced you? Kishimoto said, in my case, I'd probably say there's a lot of influence from Forever World. Yo, you know I caught you. You know you're probably like, yo, deadass, wow. That would be fire, though. I mean, who knows, dog? Yo, you never know who's watching you when it comes to you creating online. There's people that you wouldn't even imagine that are watching your videos right now. But for real, he said, in my case, I'd probably say there's a lot of animators who influenced me. Oda said, whenever Kishimoto and I hang around, he tells me all these names I've never heard of, telling me that this animator is awesome. Didn't you also appoint the animator for Naruto when its anime adaptation was going to start? And Kishimoto said he did. I love that. Yo, imagine being that much passionate about your shit that you don't need to be involved in the anime, but you want to be to make sure it all pops and everything. That is really, really awesome. Oda said, besides Kishimoto, who has a copious knowledge of the anime process, there's no manga artist who could do that. Kishimoto said, the one I asked for was someone who'd won prizes overseas in France, I think. Actually, ever since I was a new manga artist, I've been thinking of asking him to work on Naruto if it got an anime adaptation. Of course, I did that because I liked his art, but I also thought that if someone who was active overseas worked on the manga, maybe people all over the world would read Naruto. And shout outs to that idea. Like, there's a manga artist in particular, I'm not going to mention who because then people will take that idea and run with it, but there's a manga artist that someday when I get to that right position and I can do the manga that I want to do, unrestricted, no BS around it, I'm getting that guy. And if he knows and you're watching this right now, bro, you know it's you. You know you're going to be my guy. Although, don't get me wrong, if it's a really dope female, yo, let's make the next Akira Amano. Or Shinobu Otaka. She made Magi Shinobu Otaka. Like, yeah. But really, I got my guy already. Like, that dude is going to do it. Oda said, so Naruto becoming a huge hit all over the world was preordained. Yeah, Kishimoto's that guy, dog. Kishimoto said, well, back then I was just thinking that it'd be nice if it became a hit. You knew it was going to become, like, stop the shenanigans, dog. You knew he was making greatness. That, well, then again, he's being humble. Shout outs to Kendrick. He must have told Kishimoto to be humble. Or Kishimoto heard the record. No, this is like way before, yeah, this came out before Humble. Humble was damn 2017, and yeah, I'm talking about like hip-hop. I get it. Some people don't want to hear it. Too bad. It's my channel, my video. Oda said, if it were you now, it wouldn't be that weird, but back then you were still a newcomer in his second or third year of serialization. Usually you wouldn't put that much thought into that process. I'd argue that that's outdated. I'd argue that now a lot of mangaka are way more involved in the process down to the films. Question, it's amazing that you've actually been able to turn that dream into a reality. What about you, Oda sensei? Are there any people who influenced you? Oda said, if you were to come right down to it, I'd say an animator who's also a manga artist, Hayao Miyazaki. Woo, going into GOAT status. Kishimoto said, but you're completely original. I don't feel like you were influenced by anyone in particular, and I'd argue that that's true. As a matter of fact, if you could point it to me, please do, but who the hell has been able to recreate One Piece like Oda? Like, who the hell has been able to recreate One Piece to the level, like, of what Oda's done? Like, how many people really even tried to do that? Like, the only ones that there was an argument to be had that, yo, dog, you was kind of jocking Jay-Z, no, you was kind of jocking Oda, was people accused Hiro Mashima with Fairy Tail, you know, Guild Art, Shanks, which there was definitely some, I would argue, validity to the suspicious nature of how damn near close some of these characters looked and stuff like that. So maybe the influence and whatnot, but for the most part, aside from Fairy Tail, you really can't name any people that really ran with what Oda's done, because it's Oda's. Whatever, love it or hate the art and the story and all that, it's Eiichiro Oda. Oda said, that's probably because I was an average young boy who read through a lot of different manga series. Looking back at it, I'd say that was a really good thing. Also, I was generationally lucky, considering I'm at an age where I was able to actually enjoy reading Jump while it was in its golden era. That is also true. Like, one of the big things that allows me to like look at music from a different perspective is that I've actually grown up in different eras of music. You know, I was listening to Wu-Tang, Pun, Fabulous. I was listening to a lot of hip-hop early on, and you know, I've explored down to the older generations, NWA, all of that era, Public Enemy. Nowadays, you know, I listen to a wide variety of music, not just hip-hop, of course, but yeah, like being able to experience a golden era and it being nostalgic to you really has an influence. And I guess I'm gonna throw that question in while we're still going. If you have a music genre in particular, whether it be hip-hop or anything else, what would you say would be the golden era of that musical genre for you? Carrying on, Kishimoto said, exactly, we were right in the middle of that era, because you'd buy Jump every week, you'd read the story in real time each week, and things like, this is how you create an interesting story, or this is how you put together thrilling plot developments and so forth. It was all deeply ingrained in you. Reading it all at once in the manga volumes is just different. That is facts. Like, growing up in an era where you're looking at like Kendrick and Cole and stuff like that, you're looking like, oh shit, you know, you're experiencing in real time. Being a late fan or something like that, you're probably going to look at it from a different perspective. Not that that's anything bad, because your perspective might be golden, but it's just going to be different, and you're not going to have that same feel of like, even, you know, catching a manga way after the fact. Like, I'd imagine people that were reading Dragon Ball Weekly probably had a different feel for it than us that, you know, we watched it way after it came out. Well, most of us. I'm sure there's 2 people that are going to be like, what are you talking about? I was reading it. I was importing the Okay, you imported the magazines. Good for you. Oda said, our generation is proud we were able to enjoy the best of Jump, right? And while that was definitely a golden era, you know, there's always a great era coming along. For example, like TDE, you know, a room full of mirrors, Daylight, like things is really going to pop in the future. And I don't know why I'm doing like hip-hop references with a manga video. I'm like turning so many people off, but oh well, my channel, my thing. Yeah, sometimes you gotta be unapologetic about what you love and who you are, and it is what it is. You stick around, you stick around. Question, Mr. Kishimoto, could you tell us which One Piece character or story you like? Kishimoto said, okay, I'm not saying this because Oda's here in front of me, but I like all of it. Laughs. But I'm very interested in the spring fruit abilities Bellamy has, and his personality is very interesting as, really? That just sounds like fake as hell. Who the hell? Yo, dog. I mean, at the time, maybe Bellamy was popping. I don't even, oh yeah, he did come back at I think this was like Dressrosa era, or maybe even early, I don't remember, but Bellamy? Who gives a fuck about Bellamy? That dude is trash. Although I would have said Chopper's backstory. Things like his first time meeting with the doctor, or the cherry blossom snow falling as he leaves the island, that really gets to you. Oda said, I'm happy to hear you say that, and yeah, that did make me tear up. Kishimoto said, although I like him, but he's also scary. I mean, in many ways, doesn't he hold more power than Luffy? That's why I think Chopper might be the real boss. Yo, okay, now you capping, dog. Man, this is outdated, of course, but like, yo, come on. Whenever was Chopper feeling like, yo, dog, he's the leader? Like, Kishimoto was on one there. Question, a theory about Chopper being the real boss? What would make you think that? Kishimoto said, not sure. Luffy's the main character and more beloved than anyone else, but that's all through Chopper's existence. What? Kishimoto, you're projecting quite a bit. What, you Chopper in your mind? I mean, I really think that he created a kind of synergistic effect. He has this presence and gives off this mood, and he actually holds a key role among the crew. Like, Chopper's cute, but he's actually a monster. Oda said Chopper secretly thinks of evil deeds. Wait, what? Oda said Chopper secretly thinks of evil deeds. Wait, stop lying. Yo, what the fuck? Chopper's evil. Oda confirmed it. Here we go. As a bit of an inside story, Chopper was a character born out of desperation. Originally, I had him mapped out as a tall, lanky, bipedal reindeer, but Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Nami, and Usopp were too popular, and I couldn't find a place for Chopper. I thought that if I've gone with that design, he'd have been upstaged by the other characters, so I made him a bit shorter. And I remember that, seeing the very first design for him. Honestly, he looks like he should have been in Wano with that original design. That's more like Zoro's type of design, although I would have been so for it. Like, I think that would have been cool as well. Kishimoto said, and that's how the character was created. But seriously, I'm really jealous of Chopper. Yo, Kishimoto wants to become Chopper or something? Like, Oda said, you've always been saying that. Kishimoto said, actually, I was always thinking of going for a mascot character, so I created a pink tadpole character once. I even casually drew that character all over manga volumes and Jump cover pages, but it just didn't grab people. Yeah, he tried with the frogs. Initially, Naruto was going to be the mascot itself. He was supposed to be a fox, Oda said. But a lot of things happen that you don't account for during a serialization, right? For me, Chopper is an example of that. Question, so it often happens that the story continues in a different way than you planned out in the beginning of the series? Oda said, well, yeah, of course. Like, there's the plot. It was something you thought of yourself when you were still an amateur in your 20s, so of course you think of something better now. Ooh, for the people that say that Oda had it all mapped out since 97, burn! Kishimoto said, yeah, that is exactly it. Oda said, you're all like, I'm not gonna lose to my own self from before. Kishimoto said, because you've gotten more experience. Question, while on the subject, is there anything you have a particular hard time drawing? Kishimoto said, I'd say I'm not that good at drawing women, but you draw anything, huh? Oda said, anything. Well, me too. I wouldn't say it's difficult, but I would say I'm probably not good at drawing things when under the pressure of a deadline and when there's very little time. Since I'm not feeling it, it already takes a lot of time to think of what to draw. Oda said, right. You only want to draw the art you want to draw, right? Yo, that is so facts. That's why nowadays, like, I know maybe some people don't be feeling it the greatest that I don't upload every day anymore, but I upload the content now that I want to upload. Like, that's what I give now. I give you guys what I want. I don't want to go out of my way for things that I don't want to do, don't want to talk about. So I understand it. Exactly. People who think we draw because it's our job are gravely mistaken. If anything, this is just an extension of our hobby. Things we don't want to draw don't interest us. We just don't want to draw them. Yo, that is so fact. Videos you don't want to make, songs you don't want to do. Like, oh. Although music with me is a little bit different. Question. And Kishimoto Sensei's new series is finally starting in Weekly Shonen Jump April 27th issue. So is this around the time Samurai? I am so confused as to when this interview came out. Oda said, how many weeks will you be drawing this series? Kishimoto said, who knows? You sure you're not underestimating the work? What? No, of course not. Well, I don't mean it like that, but are you sure that the people around you aren't underestimating overestimating it a bit because you're all thinking that after a 15-year serialization, a short series is a cinch. Kishimoto said, I don't know. Oda said it's a little different from having to draw every week like I do. Yo, Oda was flexing on him right there like, dog, I do this. I'm him. That's true. It's been a little while since I stopped the weekly serialization, so it's possible that my senses have dulled. Oda said on top of that, the main story of Naruto finished and it's a new series. Everyone's expecting a lot from you, so you definitely can't cut any corners here. Yo, okay, wow, this is interesting. Kishimoto said, yeah, you're right. I think that in the beginning you'll totally feel the backlash from having taken a rest. Kishimoto said, because as a manga artist, even if you rest for just one day, it's tough to get back to how you were before that. Oda said, like when you take New Year's off and you become a bit slower. Yo, that is literally, and I'm gonna give you guys game if you video edit. Me personally, I've edited my own videos non-stop for like a decade plus. The minute I decided, yo, let me start hiring people, and I tried to go back to editing, it feels like hell. It feels like it takes 20,000 times longer than average. That is game. If you decide to become, you know, do video editing and stuff like that, and you take a break, good luck trying to get back on that swing of things because it is hell. I know exactly what you mean. You feel like you just can't draw that well, and the amount of times you use your eraser increases. When rough sketches you used to be able to draw in one go doesn't go quite as smoothly as you anticipated, and you're like, wait, what? It's weird, but the busier you are, the better you become. Humans are at their best when they're completely immersed in something. Question: during your serialization, what was the time you were in most trouble? Now here's where it gets juicy, baby. Here's the stuff that you're like, yo, we came for this. Here it goes. Kishimoto said, oh, that would be the time I got a slip disc. Oda said, oh, you were really in bad shape. That was really tough then, huh? Kishimoto said, it was back when I was drawing the fight with Kakuzu, back when my lungs weren't in great shape either. Whenever I get a little bit tired, I'd be wheezing as if I had pneumonia. When I'd cough, I could feel it hurting in my lower back. It was really tough. In the end, they had to publish the pencil version of the chapter in Jump. Other than that, I've also fallen down from stairs and things like that. Hold up. So remember, I started this video off telling you guys a couple of things. For starters, dude fell down the stairs, and we're gonna get more into that, but also he was having like lung issues, like he had pneumonia in his lungs, and he was drawing, and this was around the Kakuzu time, so this was still early Shippuden. I'd imagine. What would this be? Like, this is before Pain, so this is maybe like 07, 06. When was Kakuzu? It was somewhere around there. Like, I want to say between 06 and 07, unless I'm misremembering, because I feel like 09 was Pain. But fam, do you understand? Like, anyway, let's just keep reading, and I'll give you guys more of an example of the hell, that the tragedy. Oda said, wait, you did? Kishimoto said, yeah, about 3 years ago, when I went to the onsen with my family, I wasn't paying attention and fell from the top of a stone stair. God damn! He fell down the stairs 3 years. Oh, so this wasn't during the Kakuzu. He had the bad lungs during Kakuzu, and then on top of that, 3 years ago. So let's just say this is even like Samurai 8 era. So maybe like 2012 during like the Obito stuff. If this is 2015, 3 years, so maybe around Obito. Like, gosh, poor Kishimoto. Oda said, now that's dangerous. Question: was that because you were thinking of a story? Kishimoto said, no, I was just tired. You wouldn't think of the story while walking down the stairs. Kishimoto said, I didn't injure myself badly, but I did think I was going to die the moment I fell. Oh my god. Kishimoto thought, yo, hold on. The creator of Naruto thought he was going to die when this happened. Wow. Oda said if you died there, you would have become a legend, no doubt about that. He's already a legend, though. Oda, relax, Oda. Although that's very true. Like, a lot of people say that about 50 Cent. If, you know, before the massacre during Genritsu Daitron, something, God forbid, happened to him, he would have been a legend. Like, why does it take death to become a legend? You know what I'm saying? The whole saying of you're nobody till somebody kills you. I hate that shit. Kishimoto said, but I don't want to become a legend. Sorry, already happened, fam. You're a goat. Oda said, yeah, me neither. I'm not interested in becoming a legend. You probably be thinking, if I died like this, I'd become a legend. But what was my life really all about? Yo, Oda didn't want to be a legend either. You were a legend too, fam. The moment you're about to die, I wouldn't like to be praised post HOC. Kishimoto said, like Van Gogh, who'd get praised later generations, I want people to praise me for my work now while I'm still alive. Yo, give me my flowers right now is what he's saying. I want my flowers while I can still smell them. I respect it. Mwah. What a freaking incredible interview. This was amazing. I love this interview. Curious what you guys think. For starters, did it? Honestly, it felt more of a friendly story time with them, but it's kind of crazy to find out, first of all, neither one of them want to be considered legends. They didn't want to be legends. On top of the fact, Kishimoto worked through busted lungs, falling down stone stairs, thought he was going to die. Very, very insightful. Curious what you guys think about this whole thing. I mean, have you ever went through some crazy stuff like that? Like where you fell down some stairs and thought you was going to die, and just in general, like you had some work, you had school, whatever the case may be, and some bad shit happened, and you still trudged through it? Kishimoto did it. He even put out a pencil chapter just to get some shit going. That is respect. This reminds me all over again of Nakaba Suzuki with his 16 cancellations. Kishimoto was falling downstairs, busting his lungs, and still didn't even want to be called a legend. But that's all I have for this one. I'm Finette World, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in and Shout out to Kishimoto and Oda. This was amazing. I love when two authors that I highly respect and admire do stuff like this. I would love to see more in the future. Oh, you should totally like subscribe.